BTMreview.com here with another Retro Rampage podcast, episode 16. 16. Wowzers. Sweet 16. I'm Aaron with Zach. What's up, dude?
Nothing much, man.
We're going to talk about something that I don't like talking about. I never thought I would have to talk about, and just the very teasing about talking about it is making me feel like I'm going to spontaneously combust. My skin is burning, but we're going to talk about Microsoft and Xbox. I mean, it's absolutely horrible, man. Like, so in the console wars, let's say Sony is Coca-Cola and Xbox is Pepsi. It's the same, it's a different flavor of the same thing. You got to choose a side. Whereas Nintendo has always been Dr. Pepper.
You really going to give a Xbox Mountain Dew, man?
Mountain Dew was my favorite back in the day, man. I don't want to associate with that, but you're right. They do. They have the Halo Chief. They've infiltrated that market. But you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Fuck Xbox. But anyway, we have to talk about it because they actually did something that was cool. Now, whether they did it because they're actually trying to show a little fan service or because they're just desperate to keep up with the competition, we'll let you guys decide. But I think it's the latter. They have decided that, I believe starting, was it June 30th? It's this month, June 30th, I think. Systems, Xbox One systems are going to be patched and they'll be able to be backwards compatible with 360 games. Now, that should have been something from out of the gate.
That's great news.
It is great news. It should have been something that all these systems like PlayStation 4, they should have did it. And it's like, I think two ways about it. You know, on one hand, they retaliate with, look, if you want a PlayStation 3, get a PlayStation 3. This is a PlayStation 4. And I get it. Their PlayStation 3s are still selling and stuff like that. I don't know if they want to compromise that market because they probably didn't need to. They probably said, you know, we're in a really good situation right here in the console game where we don't need people to trade in their PlayStation 3 spice PS4s. And they were kind of right. You know, we can keep them both selling. And you know what? Back in the day, when the Super Nintendo came out, they didn't play NES games.
Yeah.
You know, when the Dreamcast came out, they didn't play Genesis games. They didn't play Saturn games, and you know, that was something that Sony started.
Yeah.
But you know what? They kind of changed the game, and now people are spoiled. But I am too. It's like they changed the game. Now it's become a standard.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Like if they put out a console and right out of the box it can play like 100 plus games, that's definitely a plus.
It is. It's invaluable. So I hope to God, and this is something that you mentioned. Now, Xbox, whether or not they're doing it out of desperation, like I said, to keep up with the Joneses, or they're actually providing a little fan service, I don't know. But I think they're feeling the sweat from Sony because they're the number one selling console. Every now and again, they'll have a week where they come out on top, but mostly it's Sony. You know, and Nintendo's the bastard redheaded stepchild. You know, they just do their own thing. They're, you know, picking at dead animals in the street. Mom and dad doesn't give a fuck what they're doing.
Right.
And, you know, whatever. They sink or swim. But now the question that you proposed a little bit ago was, do you think that Sony will follow suit now? I don't know. I mean, it would be really cool if they did. I think they need to. But the question is, do they need to? Because if Microsoft's doing it out of desperation, you know, why does Sony have to sink to their level, you know?
Yeah.
But I want it because actually, I wanted to play my PS2 games, man. That was my biggest thing. I hated that, you know, my PlayStation 3 won't play PS2 games like the first wave of those because I just there comes a time when you have too much shit out. You have too many consoles, too many things taking up space and gathering dust, and I do not hook up my PlayStation 2 anymore.
Yeah. I have them all still hooked up.
It's tough, dude. Well, like I said, man, they introduce a standard and you get spoiled by it. I am spoiled by wireless controllers. Yeah. I'm spoiled by laying in my bed at a good distance.
Speaking of wireless controllers, did you see the announcement they made about the customizable Elite Xbox One controller?
You know what? I think I briefly kind of read something about it, but since I want Microsoft to burn in hell, I didn't click on it. But I did see it while perusing. Now, you are a Microsoft and a Sony owner, so
yeah,
I understand that you hold no bias. So tell us about it.
Well, they basically make it a controller. It's probably I'm worried like how much it's gonna cost, but it's called the Elite controller, and they basically made it so that you can pop off like the thumbsticks and change them with different ones that better suit your fingers, and cool. Yeah, it's got stuff on the back that you can adjust. I think that's a cool idea, because I remember when I got the Xbox One controller, like I held the controller and it was different from the Xbox 360, and I actually think the Xbox 360 controller is perfect. You're probably shaking your nose at me, but
no. I mean, speaking of like the aesthetic qualities of what you're talking about, I bet you the attorney guys will eat that shit up.
Oh yeah.
You'll have all these customized people coming in, and it's just like having that catcher's mitt that works for you, or that custom guitar that feels right for that musician. And now, I think that's a cool move. It sounds like an inexpensive thing for them to pull out that they'll only make money from. So are you going to be all about that then?
Yeah, I'll definitely like check it out. Like I said, when I first held the Xbox One controller, it was a little odd, but I got used to it now. So I don't know if I'll have to see what all that's about, because the trailer was really short and didn't answer everything.
See, I can adapt to stuff, man. You're talking to a guy that actually fucking likes the N64 controller.
And, oh yeah, me too.
To this day, even like my little brothers, man, we're all retro guys, and they love the N64. But even to this day, they fucking hate that controller. I'm like, dude, I just grew to love it.
Yeah.
like
when you're playing a fighting game, it just feels like you're offering a vague suggestion of where to go.
Yeah, but I can't imagine it. But I adapt. I can't imagine playing Mario 64 or Ocarina of Time without that big chunky fucking tripod in my hand, and because I never held it, on the middle where the joystick is. You know how like people do that?
Yeah.
And I think that's the way they would always like display it, like on the box and stuff. And maybe that was probably easier for like little kids to hold the middle little cock hanging down, and the right. But no, man, I always grabbed it from the sides like a Super Nintendo controller. And even when I was a little guy, and I just learned to like move my hand over, And,
right.
And it now that I'm mimicking it here in midair, it's like, wow, this seems like a fucking hassle. I'm moving my fucking hand over to reach the joystick, but I just got so used to it, like. Yeah, games like Star Fox and all those games that I grew up playing with that, I can't imagine, so I adapted to it. But like I said, I think the tourney crowd will eat it up, and I think it'll go really well, but I don't know. Continuing the line of Microsoft, I know this is a fucking Microsoft episode, shoot me. The next thing, though, they've done is kind of cool. And the only reason it kind of makes me sick is because I wish Nintendo still had rights to these games, but Microsoft announced a new collection for Rare. Rare, as you guys all know, was bought out by Microsoft, and through that they lost a lot of properties. They lost Donkey Kong was Nintendo's, that reverted back to them, but they lost Banjo-Kazooie, they lost Conker, they lost Jet Force Gemini. They lost a whole bunch of stuff like that. But anyway, this is going to kill me, because this is actually a deal. And it is called... Oh, what the fuck is it called? It's retro.
I think it has 30 in the title.
30 fucking games, Zach, for $30.
Yeah, for $30.
30 games for $30. I mean, and we're talking about good games.
Yep.
I mean, like, look, so I'm gonna read a few of the selections here. It's called Rare Replay, and like I said, 30 games for $30, man. I mean, take a lesson, because I hate that I'm giving them credit. But anyway, 30 games, but the classics, it of course includes Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie, that aborted mess, Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts, and who gives a shit about that? But look at these classics: Battletoads, Battletoads Arcade, Blast Corps, Conker's Bad Fur Day, fucking Jet Force Gemini. It's just,
dude, I thought you were gonna say Jet Moto. I was like,
no,
dude,
they didn't. That's a Sony thing, man.
I was like, those games, man, they should bring those back.
But there's a whole slew of titles in there. But just for some of those like franchise titles, that I'm
definitely getting that, because like I said, I never got to play Banjo-Kazooie and.
Oh, it's got Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie, and like I said, dude, just fucking Battletoads Arcade. That's cool as shit, man. Yeah, Conker, man.
Yeah.
Jet Force Gemini is awesome. That was an N64 title. See,
They actually remade Conker's Bad Fur Day for the original Xbox.
Yeah,
is that the version?
No, I think it's going to be the original. But
okay.
Oh, and it's also got Perfect Dark.
Mm-hmm.
It's got the original Perfect Dark, the N64 one, and it's got the Perfect Dark Zero, the one that was on 360.
One everybody hated.
Well, I'm just saying, but they're including it.
Yeah,
nuts and bolts is shit too, but they're including it. But I'm just saying, man, just for all these games, it's so weird looking at all these titles that to me are N64 staples. You know, right. Banjo-Tooie, Jet Force Gemini, Conker. Like, these are N64 games. To play them on the Xbox is the only thing that just sets my skin on fire. It just doesn't seem right.
You never had an Xbox console?
Nope.
Did you hear that the original...
Ask me if I suck the cock next, Zach.
Well, did you hear that the original Xbox was actually Sega's original plans for the Dreamcast 2?
What do you mean? Like they were going to work with Microsoft?
Yeah, they teamed up with Microsoft and they made the Xbox.
I think I heard that. Yeah, I did. I think I heard that. I don't know. See, I would have gotten behind it if it was Sega. That just shows you how much of a bigot I am towards that company. But no, man. But it's cool. I'm not going to knock it that much. I do think it's a shame that they have the rights to Rare. I do think it's a shame that they don't know what to do with those properties because they make these games like Perfect Dark Zero, like you said, Banjo, Nuts and Bolts, and they're just shit. They don't know what to do with them. But I guess if they have these franchises under their belt, at least they're going to fucking put them out like this. I mean, you can't complain for $1 a game.
Yeah.
$1 for motherfucking Battletoads Arcade, $1 for Conker, which Conker is an expensive N64 game. You know, that's, I mean, $1, dude. You can't go wrong. So yeah.
Does it say when that comes out?
Oh my goodness. Let's see. I don't think so. I'm not too sure. I mean, they just announced it this morning, I believe, so it's brand new. I'm not sure when it's coming out, but I don't know, man. Maybe I'll have to live vicariously through you game capturing on your fucking precious little X boner and posting the footage online because I just can't bring myself to buy it, but it is cool, man. And I'm really stoked that people like you... What?
Oh, I was just going to mention it's actually cheaper than the PlayStation now, ain't it?
Oh, yeah. They keep dropping their price.
Yeah. Because
like I said, that's that desperation, man. Dropping their price, going against their original ideas of, now...
Oh, the original guy that they had was a freaking moron.
Yeah, stupid, man. It was just...
He got fired, I guess.
Good. I mean, but yeah, like I said, they're going back on... They're backsliding on certain plans. They're giving us... well, not me, because fuck them, but they're giving you guys backwards compatibility. But like I said, $30 for 30 games, $1 a game, nobody's doing that.
I think Sony will actually follow suit with that.
I hope they do. Actually, I hope Sony releases some kind of like compilation as badass as a Rare. Dude, who knew a company like Rare? That's a better compilation, if you ask me, tit for tat, than the Sega collection that the PlayStation 3 had. Maybe, I'm not saying there's some cool games in there, but just for what you're getting value wise.
Yeah.
My lord. But anyway, cool stuff. I think to round this episode out, because I really got to wash this bad Microsoft taste out of my mouth. I had too much praise. Some new game pickups. What have you been playing, Zach? You were telling me about some new titles.
What I've been playing recently, or what they talked about at E3?
Oh, you want to talk about E3 stuff?
Oh yeah, just a couple. There's a couple of games that they announced that I thought were pretty cool.
What's on your mind, man? Is it Xbox shit? You gonna kill me over here?
Well, no. Ubisoft is making another South Park RPG. Did you play the first one?
No, but it's been on my list, man, because I heard nothing but great things.
Dude, it's really fun and funny.
It's really well, just
it's turn-based, like we were talking earlier.
Just the fact that it's not like, I hear it doesn't take forever to play. Like, it's literally like a shorter RPG.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool, man. I just want to play something I can get through in a week at my kind of leisurely pace. That's cool, man. That's kind of a no-brainer because it was such a hit. And I think it was a real surprise hit, like for me, like as far as like the critical acclaim it got, like in all these Game of the Year lists and stuff like that. Well, that's cool. What else they announced?
Sony actually announced a new Hitman game, and it's just called Hitman, so I don't know if it's a reboot or a remake or what.
It's a fucking reboot, and these fucking idiots. But who cares? I don't like Hitman. I never care for those games. I never care for him. You were a fan?
Yeah, I liked the first couple. I didn't like the newest one.
Yeah.
Because they kind of like, it went too far, kind of that AAA kind of dumbing down, and I didn't like the newer one. But
I got you. Other highlights?
Did you ever play Shadow of the Colossus?
You know what? I've explained this before. I have a humongous queue of games that I've never even touched because certain modern games will come out that'll tickle my fancy and like get my interest, and I'll buy them with the intention of playing them. But my time is just so valuable, and I just think my attention's not what it used to be. I end up always going back and playing my tried and true retro games. You know,
yeah.
It's like, I could start Shadow of Colossus, or I could just play Mario World for an afternoon and get my kicks off on that. And and I usually go for the latter, but yeah, I have it. I have the HD collections, and I love those, man. I think those are great. Even if those are like a cash grab, dude, I'll get behind those all day long. Give me those.
Yeah.
As long as you're giving me something for my money, like for them to bundle these games together and give me a collection and give them an HD gloss. I feel like, and they don't price them full price or anything. I feel like that's worth $30 or whatever it is they charge for that stuff. So I'm all about those, man.
Yeah, I have that collection too. That's Ico and Shadow of the Colossus.
Yeah,
and those are actually two games. They're part of a trilogy, and the third one is called
Last Guardian.
So they talked about that a little bit.
Tease people with that again. The game that'll never come out. Yeah,
it looks like it's closer to coming out now than ever, though.
Yeah.
You ever played the Mass Effect games?
No, because I know. No, I never did. I got friends that are humongous into it. I appreciate the RPG sci-fi element that's involved with them, but no, man. But I know people love them.
The first two, especially, I really liked.
Everybody hated the third ending, I remember.
Oh yeah, well, everybody hates the third one for the ending. I just thought it was a bad game overall.
Oh wow!
Like the first one was, really kind of RPG heavy. And then the second one, it was the same way, but they started I guess they wanted more money and started kind of making it like Gears of War. And it was still a good game, but part 3 is where it just completely dropped the ball, I think.
So are they going to make a new one?
Yeah, there's a new one coming out.
Okay.
Uncharted 4, they mentioned. Did you ever play those?
Once again, man, it's on the queue, man. I got all of them, HDified, all that stuff. I got them on. They're all PlayStation 3.
Yeah.
I have. Actually, when I bought my PlayStation 3, I bought it when it came with the at the time brand new Uncharted 3, and then it also came bundled with the 2-pack of 1 and 2 in that little box, the slipcover.
Oh, okay.
So when I bought my PlayStation 3, I got all 3 of those instantly. I just haven't played them yet because I hear they're great. I'm sure they're cool. But I haven't been in the mindset to play a movie.
Yeah.
So.
Well, part 1 and 2, I liked a lot. Part 3, I don't know. Maybe I just needed, I had a hard time getting through it. I was just kind of tired of it. Maybe I should try to play it.
Did you play them all 3 back to back?
Yeah, I did.
Because that was my thing with God of War. I got introduced to God of War when pretty late, like in the last couple of years, and so I got the HD collection, and I got the collection that came with the PSP prequels too. I got everything. So I played them I played them in the order which they came out. I'm sorry, and so I played the first one, loved it. Played the second one, and I loved it too. But man, that game is so much longer than the first one. Blows away. It's just like, wow. Because I had played the first one, and the second one looks almost identical to the first one, so I think it's gonna be a very similar game. I think it took me 10, 11, 12 hours to beat the first one. It took me 22 hours to beat the second one. So it was really weird, man. I'm playing through it all right, I'm almost at the end. What the fuck? It keeps going on. And then by the time I finished that, I was so burnt. I'm like, you know what? These were awesome experiences, but I didn't want to start 3. And it was another year. I waited a year, and I finally played through 3 probably about a year ago, and I fucking loved it, but I needed the break, man. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Oh, and you might hate me for this one. The new Tomb Raider is going to be an Xbox exclusive for a limited time.
Wow. For a limited time? Yeah, who cares? I heard awesome things about the Square Enix, the Squeenix Tomb Raider reboot or whatever. I basically... you can't. I know it's like a female version of Uncharted, but to be fair, Uncharted is a male version of Tomb Raider. So it's just like a constant going back and forth. but yeah, but they kind of re-ripped. Well, okay, they had the idea first, but I think they're capitalizing on the modern success of, Uncharted to like kind of take it back home. So you can't really get mad at that. But I heard it was awesome, man. Did you play the original?
Yeah.
The reboot?
I was a big fan of that.
Was it better than Uncharted?
I liked it better than Uncharted.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, the new one, I think it's a sequel to the reboot.
Well, maybe once that finishes out their lifespan with the Xbox and it comes over to the dark side Sony, maybe I'll check it out. But in the meantime, God knows they're porting that and all kinds of other shit to the PlayStation 4. I mean, that's all we're getting is PS3 ports of the first game and all these other games. But was that all the highlights from E3 for you? Oh,
I started to mention this and I didn't finish it. Remember whenever I said Fallout, they'd been working on it for a couple of years, and then they also announced an iPhone game that kind of, I don't know if it ties in with it. Like, did you ever play Grand Theft Auto 5?
Nope.
Oh, really?
Dude, I'm a retro gamer. Listen to the name of the podcast. The retro. Oh. I'm going on a rampage right now because I'm so pissed we're not talking about retro games. No.
Oh, no, Grand Theft Auto 5 is great though.
Yeah. No, I bet. And I see I could get myself super addicted to it. I know I would. I know I would enjoy it. It'd be fun. But yeah, I'm afraid to almost dive into that stuff.
Yeah. Well, when that game came out, it had an iPhone app that kind of integrated with the game, and stuff you did on the app carried over to the game. I don't know if the Fallout one's going to do that, but it's basically a game where it looks like you build your own vault. Because the whole plot of that is like you were raised in a vault your whole life, and you get to leave when you turn a certain age. And I guess the new one's going to start out before the bomb actually drops, so that'll be cool.
Oh, that's interesting.
And it'll go through there. But yeah, at the end of that, they said yeah, and the iPhone app is on the store right now. So they did the thing that you were saying Nintendo does.
Maybe it'll be something like the Mortal Kombat X app, or MGS4 had an app game too.
Yeah, I haven't played it.
Resident Evil 4 had one. I think.
Did it?
Well, it had one, and I think it actually got an official port too.
Huh?
Because I think it was ported everywhere. But anyway, everybody out there. If you're not as big of a hater as me on Microsoft, hopefully you got some good information on this episode. And sorry if I come off like such a dirty old man, but I am. But tell us what you think about it. Vent your frustrations or love or anger towards me for being a hater of your favorite console. But let us know what you think about this stuff. In reality, to come down to base here, the $30 for 30 games, there's some... I can only hate Xbox so much. I can't take it out on the children, aka the games. It's not their fault. These, dude, go play that if you're an owner. If I had one, I'd buy it. Battletoads. If
someone gave you an Xbox, would you play it?
No.
Really?
That's like asking me if somebody presented me with AIDS, would I accept it? Like, nah, that's all right. Looking is good.
I do just see it look like.
Like, put it in Todd. Put it in my friend Riverman. Like, I'll look at it. I'll vicariously experience age through him. No, I know I'm taking it to the extreme there. But anyway, cool stuff. Backwards compatibility. Clap for them. 30 games for $30. Nobody's doing that. I'll give them a clap from them. The only thing that makes it so great is that it's not really their original properties. And E3 highlights and all that fun stuff. But let us know what you think. btmreview.com, iTunes, YouTube, we're all over the place. Last episode, I said we're like herpes. Maybe that should be an ongoing thing. Should that be a tagline? Should that be my main thing? We're
sure.
Like herpes. No, I'm just kidding. And Zach, before we all let you go here, Zach comes from another podcast that it looks like he just recently started back up again. Why don't you tell him where you can check out your podcast, what it's called, and all that cool stuff?
You can find it at macandzacsavetheworld.tk. MACANDZACH. You got to remember that I'm with an H, not a K.
Well, we're gonna link it with the videos and all that stuff that we'll put up. So thank God, hopefully all you guys out there can read. But that's all we got for now. Hopefully, I look forward to another week of an absence of Microsoft. No more of that bad.
And we're only in the middle of E3, aren't we?
Yeah.
So we'll have more stuff to announce.
Fuck that. Just kidding. Yeah, definitely keep back in touch with us here, and we'll let you know what we think about what's to come with E3 and all of that wonderful stuff. I'm Aaron.
And I'm Zach.
Until next time, bye.